Hey heroes, Cole's here. Today I'm going to be going through the special faction heroes from the special lucky spin in Heroes versus Hordes. Welcome everybody this Sunday morning or Sunday night, or depending on where you are in the world, I guess. Thanks for showing up and hanging out. I got a little bit of a cold going, so I appreciate I apologize if I sound like a smurf. But it is what it is. Welcome everybody that's here already. So Orchardist first, hey buddy. Got VKNinja, also known as Programmer Vlad K. Anybody, thanks for showing up. David and Dialis. I can't say words. Like, I just can't pronounce things unless they're said to me the first time. So I apologize for butchering all of your names, but it's not one of my skills. English is not one of my skills. So, hey, Wax Street, thanks for showing up, dude. Appreciate it. Another nice Sunday morning with you guys. So I thought this week would be a good opportunity to go through some of the special faction heroes because they're all featured in this special lucky spin. This was actually like my favorite spin last year. I got Leprechaun, Santa, Dragon Empress, and Bunny from this thing. But last year, each hero had a 0.5% chance and not a 0.2% chance. So I guess this, God, was this even last year? This is in 2024. So I'm getting old. So they lower the chance of getting a hero here by over half, which is actually kind of nuts. So much less lucky than it used to be. But I spent $100 on this like lucky package back then, and I ended up getting all four. I don't know if I'd recommend doing that now. So the nice thing is with 100 spins, you should net out to getting two of them, right? You get 1,100 coins, which lets you get one here, and then 100 spins. That should net you out to a second one in terms of like just the probability of the resources via the exchange. So you might get lucky, right? 0.8%. You're probably gonna, and you do 100 spins, you're probably looking at like a 60 or 70% chance of hitting one. I'd say maybe a little bit higher, but not sure. Higher quality streaming banner. So I have a better thumbnail this time. I had the Gemini like AI me into looking like Mr. Beast, so like the thumbnail's way nicer. But we'll see. Hey 302, thanks for showing up, buddy. Tony, thanks for showing up. Yeah, I mean, like you can get pretty lucky on this thing. 100 spins isn't bad. I did 10 yesterday at when I couldn't sleep at night. That was stupid. I should gotta remind myself like not to do stupid things at night. But I was like, oh, maybe I'll get Pumpkin Shade at Bavarian. He's like one of the few heroes I actually need or actually kind of want. I only really need Dark Paladin. So this week, if Dark Paladin or Warlock is featured, I'll probably go nuts on them. Anyway, so the probability isn't awesome, but like for $100, you'll get at least two, maybe three. That's not an awful deal. $30 a hero in this game isn't awful. But all these heroes are super strong. Like that's the nice thing about this one is that all four of these heroes are great. And so I thought it was just a good opportunity to go through all of them since I don't have a chance to. I haven't had a chance to like go back and look through older heroes as much as I've been doing, looking at like new heroes and new weapons. The one I want to feature first is so I've done Leprechaun in a past video. I want to focus on Pumpkin Shade because Pumpkin Shade I have as an ST hero, and I want to explain that a little bit more. Now I'm on my regular account. I'm not on my God account, so I'm not gonna be able to. I can put him in try mode, but I've used him on the God account, so I have that background. But Pumpkin Shade obviously is a special faction hero. He's actually really strong. Like early in the game, if you get him in this spin, you could start using him. So like his base kit is very strong. -5 cooldown, +1 projectile, +1 physical projectile. Now his skills are pretty straightforward. At 40, he starts. I'll go into in a second. He's got a ho hum level 50 global, a ho hum level 70 global plus damage is like whatever. But he does have another projectile here, so like you can see, he's got 1, 2, 3 extra projectiles. So he's gonna do a whole bunch of damage if you grab him early in the game, just like from his base kit. Like that cooldown plus projectiles means that he's strong if you're right out the gate in the game. And then the big thing here, and the reason why he's an S tier hero, is because of this level 90 all heroes that share the faction global of plus 50% extra orbs. Now, when you're early in the game, orbs might not feel like they're super important, but later in the game, and as you progress like a couple months in, this 50% is huge. You I mean, you can look at my roster right now. I'm up to 57 heroes, and right, you need so many hero orbs, right, to get all these guys all the way up. I mean, I've put in, I'll check how many runs I put in, but right, like I have all of these heroes up at 125 for, I had them up there for Dragon's Tower and 150 for like the end of Dragon's Tower. But you can see here, like I still have 7, 9, 12. I have like 12 heroes, 13 that still aren't like at their max level even here. And I guess if you include the ones that are like at 150 and not, or 140 and not 150 up here, right? Like this guy, you have an unlimited need for hero orbs. And you don't appreciate that early because you're just focusing on like a couple of heroes. But when you're late, that 50% increase is nuts. It's 50%. I thought it was a typo. I checked with Freywood. It's not a typo. 50% extra hero orbs is huge. And so for that one reason alone, Pumpkin Shade's an S tier hero. Now, what I found out from practicing and playing with him on the God account is he's actually just very strong. So level 90, you get that global, and when 120, you get like a ho-hum global. So this guy is not meant to be like a global machine for in terms of damage, although this one's not awful at times 1.025. The one global magic thing is just this extra orb guy. Like that's unheard of in this game. He's the only one with it, and that makes him an S tier hero. So if you get Pumpkin Shade, congratulations, super lucky. He was actually available in a mining event, but I was not following Spider Pig's gem theory back then, and so I didn't have any gems to get him in the mining event, so that was sad. But that 50% extra hero orb, I can't overstate how important it is. Yeah, that way. So if he was just this, like if all he had was this, he'd be S tier. And you appreciate it more the more you play the game. So obviously it increases your orbs as you collect them. So the more runs, the more grinds, the more involved you are, the better the hero. All right. So there's my whole long thing on why orbs are important. So hey, TallaNasty, thanks for showing up, buddy. Thanks, Talla, for putting the link in the guild. Yeah, no pressure, guys. I don't like promoting this too much to like the guild. I feel like it's abusing the server there, so I try not to. But people want me to at least mention it, so. The best typo Freywood ever made, and now he's like too embarrassed to ever undo it. But it's confirmed. Like that's what they're not gonna fix it. Like it's 50% extra orbs. So, yeah, it's impossible to overstate. It's impossible to overstate its importance. No, it's impossible to understate its importance. I don't know which way it goes. If it's more important than when you understate it, then it's, yeah. I don't know. I can't overstate. I'm gonna go with overstate. All right. So on the skill side of things, the nice thing about him is he's got 3 skills that just do damage, and he's an adventure scaling. So he's one of the later special faction heroes. So his Pumpkin Shade throws little tiny bombs that deal a whole bunch of damage. And then his second one is Cursed Arrows. Pumpkin Shade shoots large burning arrows in random direction. Every 0.5 seconds, arrows release a spooky shockwave, dealing more damage. And then his ultimate is every weapon kill fills a meter. When full Pumpkin Shade spawns 5 orbiting jack-o'-lanterns. The lanterns breathe flames that deal a whole bunch of damage. So the great thing about this is, unlike Santa, all 3 of these do damage, and they all scale with hero levels, or hero star levels, right? So once you get him up to like star level 4, this dude actually pumps damage. So unlike Santa, where it can be hard to farm later chapters for hero orbs and whatnot, like I ended up having to farm hard mode 140 a ton with Santa. With Pumpkin Shade, you can push further. Him and Krampus are the same. Like, Krampus is a fantastic hero. I've been farming with him recently. My level 100 Krampus can just like auto farm 275 without a thought. Whereas Santa dies 2 out of 10 times for me still, even with like, unless I pick the weapons. Pumpkin Shade or someone like Krampus can just auto farm higher levels of difficulty because they have so much damage built into their kit, which is great. And then the big thing recently was that Pumpkin Shade got a forge. So when he first came out, he didn't have a forge, but this Halloween, he got one. So now he's got a scarecrow bomb, a scary scarecrow bomb that feeds on nearby defeated enemies, becoming stronger the more souls it consumes. I don't actually know what that does. I have to go check with that. We're going to go look at that one. But the fact that he's got an Evo now, and Evo's off a duplicator tome, which is straightforward, means that if you get him, you can start actually like putting resources into him, and he'll become a strong hero. So he can push all of hard mode, all of nightmare mode. Like, so in addition to like being really important for farming, he himself is like a top tier damage hero. So what you're looking for in a forge is abilities or forge levels that improve their skills, the hero's skills. And that's what he has here because he's, again, a newer. He got his while he was an older hero, his forge was released recently, and so it's a very strong forge. Let's see. Just really real quick through the chat. So yeah, so Waxtrue puts it in perspective, and I can look at it too on the site. But you need so many hero orbs to go from like 1 to 160, 1 to 120, that unless you're just grinding all of the time, this will save you out. Like every 2 runs counts as 3, right? Like it's huge. Let's see, David, can you try Leprechaun maxed out? So I have tried maxed out Leprechaun on the God account. I could switch over to it at one point. I just don't know if I'm going to have like access to it, full access, because I think it's banned right now. The 5A shield was super unreliable. That was what I noticed, because you have to turn them into coins first. It's like not as reliable as like B Queen, or why would they not call it Queen Bee, or Werebeast, or Shield Warden? So the Leprechaun's shield is like very unreliable, and it requires you to have already evolved the weapon. So it's like it takes like a 2-step process in something like Dragon's Tower. My last purchase was at Christmas time. So hey Garco, thanks for asking. At Christmas, my last purchase was in February of 2025. Was when I quit my job and started going full time into Heroes vs. Horde, like content creation. And so I didn't spend anything from February until Christmas of this year. Christmas of this year, I got a new job last month, and so I actually had some disposable income that I felt like I could spend. And I figured out this way to like arbitrage the betting apps in Missouri. So I got $500. I spent $50 on Druid. I spent $50 for the Diamond Pass for Nature and Mechanist League. So that's $150, and then $20 on the Gold Pass for the Warriors Guild. So that was $170. So I consider that all one giant purchase in my brain. And during that time, it was like the New Year's, Christmas, whatever celebration thing. So I got an extra, I got enough tokens with all of that to get Lotus Pike. So my last like purchase would be the $50 Diamond Pass for the Nature's Guild. Those things are awesome. Those like these guys, the faction war passes are like phenomenal. If you're gonna play this game for like a year, the long-term value here is awesome. But like I said, I didn't spend anything for 10 months, and I wouldn't have spent anything if I didn't like have that combination of the free betting money all of a sudden and having a job again. So I mean, I play this game enough where I feel like it's worth it. I also have the benefit I can write it off, so I get it before taxes. Just out of habit, I'm gonna do my guild button pushes there. So I have like a little bit of advantage there also. But I do highly recommend, if you're gonna play a long time, getting a Diamond Pass for a Faction Wars for your favorite faction is giant. Yes, so Studenheim, yeah, Pumpkin Shade and Bunny, that's great. That's a nice little pull right now. Yeah, Krampus is fantastic. Krampus ends up being exactly Bavarian, but he's stronger. So we'll go over Bavarian here, but that's Krampus. Krampus is Bavarian on steroids. Krampus is, I think, actually really good in Hero Clash. Any game mode where you can get his ultimate to start proccing, he becomes a beast. So his ultimate can like proc on top of itself, and there's not a huge cooldown there. Krampus is very, very strong. Hey, Ride this guys, and hey, Frick, thanks for showing up, guys. Appreciate it. And HDBTGFGSG, thanks for showing up, buddy. Okay, so going through the Forge real quick on... I ended up on Gravescraper. Where did I click? Pumpkin Forge. Let's say details. This guy. So real quick, Pumpkin Bomb is balanced one time. Again, any Forge that improves the skills of the hero is big, so that's nice. Increase the amount of cursed arrows by 25%. Again, this is going to be like, I would just play with these. I'm not going to know right now which one's stronger off the top of my head. Pumpkin bombs or cursed arrows? Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to play with that one. They're both impacting the skills, so I'm not entirely sure which one's stronger. Instead of throwing bombs into cross, continuously throw a single bomb every 0.5 seconds. Or cursed arrows are deflected on the edge of the screen one time, so this means they'll bounce back off of the screen. This is kind of thing. Both of these are actually really good. I have not done enough playtesting to know which one's better. Again, this global is solid, top 5 kind of globals. Any kind of multiple of damage is nice. And then this is actually where he got a pretty big power boost, was in the Scarecrow Bomb. That feeds off of nearby defeated enemies, becoming stronger the more souls it consumes. And then Scarecrows can either slow enemies, or they explode doing more damage. So you can see here, like, you have like damage boost here, 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 here. So if you get Pumpkin Shade and you want to use him as like your main hero to clear out normal and hard mode, I think you can. Like, he's got actually top line damage once you get him forged up. So like, who just said he rolled him? So if like Studenheim, I don't know exactly where you are in the game, but like I could actually highly recommend, like if you're early, let's say your first like couple months, you're one of your first 10, 20 heroes, would be like, just put all your resources into Pumpkin Shade now. Like he can clear you through normal mode, hard mode. So really big fan. We can look at try mode real quick. See if I can just show you like what the things look like. Although anyone can do this, so this isn't gonna be. Let's not do that. Coles. Let's not play auto mode in try mode. Ruin everything. Why did I just get hero orb? What did I just get dust for? That was weird. All right, haunting bow, haunting bow, haunting bow, and this is my real account, so I'm not gonna do stupid stuff like waste gems on rerolls. All right, so you can see his bombs that are okay. So he's got his shooting out. He's got bombs he's chucking. He's got arrows he's shooting out. Those are the cursed arrows. He's got his bombs he's chucking, and then his base weapon like is kind of like Bunny-esque, where it hits a horde and then it splits off into 4. So you can see here, like, he's got near battlefield-wide damage coverage going on. You add in the ultimate of his spinning pumpkin poison things, and he's got his, like, green goblin feel going. But you can tell here, right? Like, the whole screen is taking damage. So, and you can compare this, right? It's always fun to do try mode of this and then compare it to, like, Slime Sage, where Slime Sage would actually die if I did the same kind of thing. All right, so now we can see how the scarecrows pop up. You can see them getting gianter and then sucking the souls of nearby things until they explode. So this whole combination of his kit makes him, again, really, really strong for grinding. And then I used him in Boss Brawl on the God account, and he put up numbers that were like not top tier, but like second tier. So like Void Raven-esque numbers. So if you have him 5-star forged and you set his forge up right, he'll end up putting, and you get him up to 4-star levels, which again can be a little harder for special faction heroes because you don't have faction wars to work with. He's like a Void Raven level boss brawler. That's kind of like how I would describe it. So you can see here, like, this kit is very, very strong for clearing out normal mode and hard mode because he's just got screen wide damage, and it scales tremendously well with hero star levels. So I'm a really, really big fan of Pumpkin Shade. I originally, in my first ranking back in like February of last year, had him like an A tier somewhere, and I got all this pushback from late game players, and now I understand why. So damage wise, now with the Forge, a great hero, plus that global makes him overall probably like a mid S tier, like a strong S tier hero. Very, very strong. Okay. Now the next hero, I'll quickly go over. I will cover all 4 of these guys. I'm gonna save Leprechaun for last. Leprechaun, I've done a whole different video on. You can go check that one out. It's like Leprechaun and Santa, and it breaks down for Leprechaun how to farm with him, which I'll talk about later here. The next one I want to talk about, though, because I haven't before, is Bunny. Bunny was actually like luckily, like for me, like one of the first heroes I ever grabbed from a special role. I think I may have gotten Bunny. Yeah, I got Bunny from whatever event, and then I also rolled him again in this special lucky wheel when I did him. So like, That was a second roll, and I may have rolled him last Christmas. So I think I rolled Bunny 3 times back when he had 300 hero shards for rolling him again, and that's why he's 5 stars for me. So I've rolled Bunny 3 different events, which is pretty nuts. 2 of them like pure free to play, and then that one when I got the pass for the lucky wheel. But Bunny's big claim to fame is his boss brawl prowess. I think he's the single best. So Druid does more damage eventually in boss brawl, but if you get Bunny, his floor is much higher than Druid's floor. So once you like get Bunny rolling a little bit, like 3-star levels without a forge, he'll like carry you at least into League 7 and maybe into League 8. So I consider Bunny a better boss brawl hero than Druid for that reason. If you're like Studenheim again, just grab Bunny. Bunny's gonna like carry him through or her through League 7 of boss brawl like single-handedly. So staying in League 8, you're probably gonna need a couple more heroes now. People have gotten way more competitive because they listen to me, unfortunately. But Bunny's floor is super high, and it's for boss brawl. So I'll go through why. And again, Bunny's also a very strong hero for clearing out arena early in the game and for pushing normal mode, hard mode, and adventure mode. So back when I was pushing those myself, Bunny was the one that I would use to do it. Like Bunny put me through several higher stages of normal arena before I could Blade Master cheese it. Just because he's got so much damage. The dude's a glass cannon. He's a slow-moving, fat guy with a giant machine gun made of carrots that like just does a ton of damage. So level 10 plus projectile, level 30 critical hit, and some armor at 20. Carrot shrapnel. Each carrot will shrapnel into 8 smaller pieces. This is super important for why boss brawl works so well. I am fairly certain all 8 of those shrapnel hit the boss, and that's why he does so much damage. His globals aren't anything particularly interesting. 20 and 12 here. He's got a coin bonus, not super important, and then armor at 120. And his forge is actually projectile speed, which is awful. I was super excited for when he got a forge sometime last year, thinking like, okay, this is like later in the forge cycles, they'll give him a really good forge. And he got a really good forge, but his global here is god awful. So avoid that. Or don't be excited for the globals. Bunny is very much like a main character hero, probably based off of the real Bunny. Very much a main character person. Rip Bunny. You used to miss that guy. Anyway, so yeah, I was a jab because I love him, not because I'm trying to stir up controversy. But so Bunny's globals aren't particularly great, but he's like just a massive glass cannon. Like this dude does so much damage. And that's because his first skill, Carrot Shrapnel, breaks off into 8 smaller pieces. And again, this is why he does so much damage in boss brawl. Each one of those 8 pieces of shrapnel will hit the boss. His next one is Swipe This, where he lays eggs all across the screen, and those eggs blow up after a short delay, doing a whole bunch of damage. And then his level 5 is Bunny Barrage. Bunny Barrage is like, let's see, all enemies fill a meter, and then Bunny covers the entire screen with carrots. So like the whole screen just starts taking damage. Really great for normal mode and hard mode and arena. It just does so much damage. So he is very much a glass cannon, very much a main character, but like a fun main character that can push content for you. Really quick, looking through, let me look through chat real quick. So Wax Fruit, you got Bulwark this week. Congratulations, my dude. I got Minotaur this week. So I feel you. It's fun. DT is a lot of fun. So Bulwark is super, super strong. And I put a couple of weeks of Dragon Tower tokens into leveling it up into 3-star. So, are you talking the character or the namesake? I know exactly. It's funny. It's both. Bunny and his namesake have a very similar disposition. But I do miss Bunny the person. He was an acquired taste, but once you got used to him, and once I think he realized that I wasn't just gonna like be like a one and done 1 month kind of guy and out, I got some respect and it was fun. Yeah, so it's definitely Studenheim. Bunny, getting Pumpkin Shade to 90 is a good move. Oh, I didn't realize you have Krampus also. So that's the perfect bonus. So getting Pumpkin Shade to 90 and then farming with Krampus, when Krampus is at 140, will be like your late game max or build. That's like fantastic. So you're like, dude, you're set. Like, you have the foundation of like a really, really strong roster. Just got to keep grinding, because this game is grind and every grind counts. Okay, so Bunny on the Forge side, I actually have this wrong. So at level 1, I think 2 times projectiles, technically, maybe a little bit more damage. Depends on where you are in the game. Each projectile is worth less than the previous one. You can roughly think of them as worth anywhere from a 0.1 to a 0.05 increase to your damage. I'm at the point in the game where this like might actually be exactly the same. But earlier in the game, more projectiles will be better than more damage. And then like around 13 projectiles, I think the damage one gets higher. I'm not sure in the exact number. At level 2, it's either more damage or a reduction in swipe this cooldown. This is the way to go. I've been told this week by Hacksanon in the guild that I've been doing this wrong. My thought here was that the punchier carrots would cause the shrapnel to do more damage, but the reduction in the swipe this cooldown is huge. So this goes from being throws a basket of eggs. It doesn't actually say what the initial duration is here, but apparently the 1 second cooldown improvement is really big. So this first level kind of like is really about the same. Second one, you want to go right. Projectile speed is awful, and this, I'll tell you why, is for boss brawl. At high levels of projectile speed, the Unity engine that powers Heroes vs. Horde bugs out, and in boss brawl, if you have too much projectile speed, the shrapnel can't hit the boss. And that's why Bunny's boss brawl scores will fall dramatically if you over-index on projectile speed. Now, the way you over-index is by getting projectile speed tome. But if for some reason all of your heroes have too much projectile speed, it can mess up Bunny and boss brawl. So it's fine to get this and push the rest of his forge, but you do have to be careful that you're not over-indexing on projectile speed like across all heroes. So something like Artificer, like eventually might push Bunny to break the Unity engine in boss brawl. Definitely don't take projectile speed with Bunny in any game mode, because you're going to reduce your damage, because literally the game engine can't render the projectile shrapnel hitting Horde. Something you know about projectile speed. Level 4, we have empowered by the golden crop. Bunny now calls in precision airstrikes from the skies. This causes like little arrows to appear on the screen that will shoot enemy Horde. And then at 5, you get airstrikes trigger swipe this. So you can generate more of those bombs, or you can get golden support. Instead of damaging artillery, every 4 seconds, you'll start getting, what is this? Once collecting, every 4 seconds, you see golden eggs appear on the screen. Running over and collecting them increases Bunny's damage by 50% for 6 seconds. This is huge for boss brawl. This is essentially a 50% increase to your damage for boss brawl. You'll be able to have the golden crop up the whole time, and you need to have that up during your revive phase for boss brawl. So the way you can build Bunny and boss brawl is like left, right, or right. And that'll maximize your boss brawl damage. I'll go through and show you what the golden support looks like versus the egg strike, because it's fun. But that's the key. So Bunny gets a big damage boost in boss brawl at the golden crop, and he gets a massive one at the golden support. So boss brawl logs. Oh shit, let me take a picture of my boss brawl. This week in boss brawl, I couldn't get freaking Warlord to die, like, ever. So I ended up losing like 2 whole runs, like just exiting the game. And like not wasting the ticket because I just couldn't get Warlord to die, and so I came in 5th. I wouldn't come in 3rd anyway, but that was annoying. Okay, but so Bunny, let me show you guys a quick run of Bunny. So those egg baskets are swipe this, and then you'll see that when Bunny's attacks hit one of these Horde, you see how those carrots are splitting into more carrots? That's the shrapnel. So this is pretty standard Bunny fare. I mean, like, my Bunny's very, very strong, but you can see how swipe this is causing just an obscene number of these. The swipe this cooldown reduction in the Forge is just creating this incredible number of baskets. Bunny is a massive glass cannon. Like, this is just an obscene amount of damage. I was supposed to show you guys the boss. I was supposed to do the research on Bunny here. Let me actually do that instead of. I got sidetracked, but I can get you guys the impact that getting Bunny to 5 stars has on your boss brawl score. So let me do that. All right. So for Bunny, let me try. I'm in a spreadsheet over here, so it's not as much fun. But all right, do that, and then star level 3, 4. And this makes for excellent TV when I'm doing letting the game just play itself over here, and I'm doing Excel work in the back. All right, so going from a 3. Okay, so going from, let me pause this so I can tell you guys what the hell's going on. Did I not grab? God damn it. God damn it, Coles. You're not on the God account. You have to pay a little more attention. Okay, so 3-star. So I had Bunny at 5-star levels. My average boss brawl score for 3-star Forge with 5-star levels. So again, 5-star levels, so maxed out star levels with a 3-star Forge was 708 million. When I got up to 4 stars, it jumped up to 947 million, and at 5-star Forge, it jumped up to 1.7 billion. So there was a 20. So there's a 30% jump from 3. Okay, so there was a 30% jump from a 3-star Forge to a 4-star Forge, and then another 70%, 60% jump from a 4-star Forge to a 5-star Forge. So that 4 to 5 is something like a 50 to 70% increase in your boss brawl damage. And you can compare a 3-star to the 5-star. It nearly it doubles it. Good way to put it. So going from 3-star Forge to 5-star Forge will double your boss brawl score with Bunny, based on my data, roughly. Now back to the regular scheduled programming of me not doing Excel work in the back. And then pushing some buttons here. And I didn't I'm just going to exit the run because I didn't evolve Bunny's weapon, which was stupid. But you can see that's so the all those carrots going across the screen are his ultimate. So he's got carrots going across the screen. He's got all these exploding bunny eggs, and then he's got the shrapnel. So it's just a massive glass cannon. And then let me show you what this actual Evo looks like for his weapon. Which, again, you guys could always just go check out in try mode. But dude's a beast. Whee. He is slow. This is one downside. This is one slow-moving dude. I guess it is rather heavy to have a Tommy gun that you're carrying around with you, but he is very, very slow. All right, so see that aim marker? That's the airstrike, precision airstrike. So the little gun mark that's coming down, do a whole bunch of damage there. And then you can run over these packages of golden carrots that you see on the screen. And then see my little golden carrot in the top left? So when I run over and grab this, you get that golden carrot cooldown marker in the top left. That shows that you're doing extra damage. So you gotta make sure that you have near 100% uptime of the golden carrot when you're doing boss brawl for maximum damage. And honestly, I had never played with visibility mode on boss brawl. I wonder if there's a way to like aim the boss into these circles too, like get the boss in those little aimy things. It's probably too hard to do during the vulnerability phase, but you might be able to do it outside of the vulnerability phase. I'll try playing with visibility mode on this week with Bunny. Let's see if that makes a difference. But yeah, I guess, yeah, it'd be hard to get the boss in there, but you can try. So Bunny is an awesome glass cannon. So congratulations if you got Bunny, if you grab Bunny. He is going to be helpful for pushing early normal mode arena levels because he does so much damage, and he's fun for playing normal mode and hard mode. And then boss brawl is his long-term legacy. So he's like he's my personal best hero for boss brawl right now. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, Assassin might have that same problem in boss brawl. I just can't tell. Assassin ultimate evolves off of projectile speed, and he might have the same issue with projectiles hitting the boss. But his ultimate also kind of his Evo kind of sucks because he follows him around. So you have to like make the shuriken go over the boss by like running past and around the boss, and I can't reliably do it. So I've been super disappointed with Assassin. I put a lot of super tokens into Assassin to get that 5-star forge, and it just didn't pay out. Out of the 4 heroes, which is the must-have? I think the best hero of these 4 is Pumpkin Shade. So if you get just lucky and get one of them, I think Pumpkin Shade is probably the best for the hero or faction bonus. And then after that, I don't know. Barbarian's really good for farming. He's not a strong hero, so like Pumpkin Shade, I was going on and on about how strong Pumpkin Shade is a hero. Bavarian is not that. He's actually very weak, so it's harder to push levels with Bavarian. But he also has a orb bonus at 90, and then 140, he's got this 15% extra orb. So ideally, you want to use Bavarian for farming with Pumpkin Shade's global. That's like the ideal max orb farming setup. Or Krampus. Krampus is an exact replica of Bavarian, but stronger in terms of damage. So of these 4, if I could pick only one, I'd probably pick Pumpkin Shade, and then I would probably pick Bunny. I love boss brawl. Boss brawl is life. So after Pumpkin Shade, I think I'd actually go with Bunny just for boss brawl. That's in 2 weeks going to be all I play in the game. So and Bunny's also a lot of fun to use as like a hero, I think. So I would go Pumpkin Shade, Bunny. So I got Santa and Leprechaun at the same time. Leprechaun's the premier coin farmer, but you reach a point where I am now, 500 days in, where you don't need coins anymore, which makes like Leprechaun sour in my mouth a bit because I never used Leprechaun for farming. I went right from Santa into actually Sentry Specialist. So I just figured I'd get enough coins from doing enough runs that I never focused with Leprechaun. I will say, if you have like a couple hours and you're bored and you want to actively play, then farming with Leprechaun can be a lot of fun because you can try and push your max coins per like run to the limit. And so if you actively want to play, having Leprechaun can like help you kill time. It's not like a glowing endorsement of the dude, but he is very good for coin farming. All these heroes are good, right? So like Pumpkin tier is S, Bunny is an S tier boss brawl, maybe like A+ overall. Leprechaun is A+, low S- kind of hero, and Bavarian is like a high A hero for the orb farming. So like all of these heroes are really good, and I'm like tiering them on like which one I think is the best on like really small scales. Be super happy to get any of these 4 heroes. Like if you get lucky and hit any of them, you're in a good spot. And Studenheim's in a great spot because he hit 2. So like I'm saying which one I like best, probably Pumpkin Shade, but the difference is super small. These are all very good heroes. That jump was with heroic armor the whole time. Yeah. So you can expect to double your Bunny boss brawl score from going from 3-star to 5-star, roughly. Eating strap. Yeah. I can't see anything in Boss Brawl when I have visibility mode on. So it's like hard mode. And then Crazy Tinkerer, even with visibility mode on, you can't see anything because his ultimate is nuts. But he's actually quite strong Boss Brawl hero too. Okay, so that's Pumpkin Shade and Bunny. Bavarian, if you go and watch my Krampus takedown review showcase, it's the exact same as Bavarian. They've got literally the exact same starting upgrades and globals. The big one here is, again, more 5% extra orbs, right? So this is probably what Pumpkin Shade was supposed to be, but Pumpkin Shade got 50 instead of 5. And then Bavarian's 140 extra orb and completing a run is very strong. So if you get Bavarian, your goal is to actually to get him up to 140 to get those orbs pumping. So I'm actually farming with Krampus now just for the chance of getting hero shards from the heroic noble helm. So I'm pushing for that 140 bonus. He doesn't have a forge, which limits his top line abilities. I bet you he gets one this October. I would hope. Maybe sooner, but in October at least. Whenever beer month is, Oktoberfest. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on his skills. He gets a little heal out of his pretzel eating, and then his mugs do damage and they bleed, and then he fills the meter and does damage. So because he doesn't have a forge, his top line damage isn't the same as Pumpkin Shade, and Krampus is stronger. So, but Bavarian, like the whole thing to know about Bavarian is the 90% orb guy and the 140 orb guy. I mean, we can like see what he looks like, but I'm not going to spend like a whole time looking at him because he's like a weaker version of Pumpkin Shade, would be how I would describe him. Give him a look real quick though. But again, if you get him, be happy. That's the general takeaway here is like get any of these heroes and you're happy. Again, I'm saying he's worse than Pumpkin Shade, but he's still better than like 57 other heroes. Right. So everything with a grain of sand. Grain of salt? Grain of salt. All right, let's see what his mugs do. Right, so his mugs got a little bit of a delay on the projectile here. You have to run over his pretzels to get some to get the power up, and then here's his foam blast ultimate. It's like a spinning circle. So he's like a fun hero, right? He's auto aiming. He's a fun little hero. He's just not very strong. Like his top line damage numbers just don't compare. Right? You can compare this to what the screen looked like with Pumpkin Shade, with like the whole screen taking damage, and like this has delays. It's limited to like smaller portions of the screen. It's just not there in the damage comparison. But again, very good for the globals, and eventually you'd actually want to use him for farming. So you'll end up seeing a lot of Bavarian if you grab him, especially later in the game when you're using him to orb farm. I will say getting a special hero up to 140 takes forever. So I've had Leprechaun for over a year now as like a point of reference. And while I haven't like put any additional resources into him, he's only at 3.5 star levels. 3 3/4 star levels ish. It takes a really long time to level up special faction heroes unless you invest in them in Dragon's Tower. Just because they're hero shards, the only way you can grab them is from portals or events. So, hey Spider Pig, thanks for showing up, buddy. Yeah, Bavarian's just not great for damage. So, all right. So those are those three. I wanted to put most of the video into Pumpkin Shade because I do think he's the strongest, both in terms of like a hero itself and that 90% global. I'm just gonna keep harping on it. That all his level 90, 50% extra orbs global is just so ginormously important. Lastly, I will go over really quickly Leprechaun. So Leprechaun is super. He's actually a lot of fun if you have the time to engage with the game. So I encourage you to go check out my other video on Santa and Leprechaun and why I think they're both really strong heroes. Leprechaun does just an atomic butt ton of damage from his base. And so what you do is you actually run all noble gear with this dude, and he still does enough damage to clear out stuff. And then for pets, you go double snail with no active pet. You're actually trying to like reduce the amount of damage that you do. Oh, by the way, look at all my I got all my pets basically up to like 400. Still waiting on 3 more of these runes, but I spent this whole week like getting these guys. Now I have 12 pets at around 400. So my expedition numbers like went way up. They're like I'm almost getting like 500,000 on some expeditions. So that's fun. But yeah, so with Leprechaun, you go 2 snails for the extra health. You don't want any damage from your pets, and then you go to the very hardest levels you can. And Leprechaun builds full defensive. So you go like pick all your defensive items. You're actually trying to minimize the amount of damage that you do. I don't have shit. I don't have Divine Aura enabled right now. Let me put that on real quick. But you're making a flagpole build, like old school pushing grinding with night level builds here. So you go like this, and your idea is I want to stand still and let my skill do all the work. So let's see, take that, Divine Aura, Recovery Tome. I don't really want Life Tome here because it evolves, but it's fine. So you see those little pots of gold? So first off, he's got this like giant, he's puking out a rainbow the whole time, which is just fun. That rainbow does an immense amount of damage. But after that, you're going to see these little pots of gold. So see those like little pots of gold he throws on interval? You're going to see him like throw 3 now, and then like I turn around and those 3. When those little pots of gold explode, they have the chance of turning horde into coins. So if we watch it down bottom, they explode, and then there's a coin over here I can go pick up. And those coins are very much like the coin power-ups. So what your goal becomes with Leprechaun is to let those pots of gold spawn and then kill horde so that they turn into coins. And so you end up like shooting, you like toss 3, you turn the other way. And then they turn into coins. And then you toss 3 and you turn the other way. And the goal is to get the pots of gold to kill horde. Now he's also got his ultimate, like Lucky Pot of Gold, which is that giant thing that's spinning. And that will also turn horde into coins with some chance. So you can see like in that big circle up there where my rainbow is, there are a bunch of horde turn into coins. And this is the way that you end up farming with Leprechaun to maximize his coin farming. So you like let those things shoot, and then you turn around. You let them shoot and turn around. And then I'll let this go a little fast. Let's get this going. But you can see here I built full defensive, and after this wave, no, I didn't mean, that was just out of habit. Shit, I didn't mean to take Mighty Boar there. I should have taken like something that doesn't do any damage. But after this wave ends, we'll see on the next wave. Basically, you just have horde hitting you the whole time, but you're so tanky and you can heal through it that he doesn't take any damage. And you're eventually just turning as many horde as you can into coins. And so like you get this giant accumulation of coins in waves 2 through 5 because the only thing killing them is your pot of gold. Now I shouldn't have taken Mighty Boar. That was a mistake. I just did it out of habit. But you just keep this. And so like that's what I'm saying. Like if you have active time to farm, this is like a little fun mini game. Is how many coins can you turn horde into? Now Leprechaun can turn horde into coins in any game mode. That includes Dragon's Tower, Nightmare mode, Hard mode Arena, anything. Doesn't matter their health. They just have a % chance of turning into a coin. So he can actually be really helpful in Dragon's Tower for turning elites into coins. So like if a pot of gold pops on an elite, it'll turn it into a coin and insta-kill it, which can be like super, super helpful. And the same applies for like Nightmare mode. You can end up farming some Nightmare mode levels just by turning everything into coins. But you can see here that like I have full noble gear on. I have a lot of damage at this point in the game, but I could be in full coin jewels, and like nothing's getting to me. Unfortunately, I did take Mighty Boar, so that's doing a little more damage than I wanted to do. But this general like no damage full armor build allows the horde to just get close to you and then get turned into coins from his skills. And that's how you farm with Leprechaun. Doing this, I have a graph on my website. Is more efficient than farming for coins with Santa, but you do have to actively play. If you just put it on auto mode, you don't get the same results from actively playing. Okay, will I die here? No, I won't even die from the elites jumping on me. So this is Leprechaun coin farming in summary, and they add up. The later waves will do significantly more, get you significantly more coins. All right, let's see what we got here. There's a faster way with money. That is true. Money is a cheat code. The Lunar New Year is coming with Forged. Yeah, I'd imagine they'll have a Forge for the Empress. Right, because she doesn't have one yet. I think the Emperor does. Snake Emperor is very strong. Whatever. If you're out there, two call outs to whatever. The first was he showed me how to use the time function in Discord, so thank you for that, dude. And then whatever is a big proponent of Snake Emperor. Snake Emperor, if he comes out during Lunar New Year, I'll do a review on him. Is also like a top tier damage hero, like very, very strong for damage. Although he's poison reliant, so on chapters with poison, he can sometimes get stuck, but very, very strong. Rando, do I have a video on Pumpkin Shade? I do. It happened 35 minutes ago. So when after this video ends, I focused the whole first half of it on Pumpkin Shade. But know that Pumpkin Shade's fantastic S+ hero. Yeah, Ride the Skies is letting you know. So yeah, this is a great event for spending money. I guess it's actually a good way to put it. Like if you're gonna spend $100 on an event, like this one's a pretty decent one to do it for. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's what I did last year, but again, this wasn't last year. This was 16 months ago. Because the odds were higher back then, it worked out for me. But for $100, you can nab at least 2 of these heroes, which is good, and you'll probably get a third. So $33 for a hero of this caliber is actually a really good deal. In terms of like heroes versus hordes economics. So not great deal, I guess, in real life video game spend, but right, this is the one game I play. And I've been working so much. Oh my God, this new job, I'm working like 60 to 70 hours a week. It's a lot of fun. I'm learning a ton. But just like I barely have. There's some days where I'm like not even farming, which is kind of sad. But I got all my dragon towers done. I got all my boss brawls done, but I haven't really been like I didn't get to farm at all this week. So 5-star scrap hammer, yeah, dude, that was big. I rolled that one on on the warlord with warlord one time. On that spin, it's huge. 5-star scrap hammer. I mean, you don't use it ever until Dragon's Tower. That was me. Like I didn't have any need for scrap hammer until the later modes of Dragon's Tower, and then it's a must take first take on Dragon's Tower. So, all right, I won't bore you guys. I don't need these coins, so I can just exit out of here. Does anyone else have any questions? I'm happy to stay around and do some Q&A. Oh, I can show you real quick. My extreme luck, I mean, like actually like stupid amount of luck, was in the water crystal. I hit the water crystal 3 times. Like I didn't want the thing, and I hit it 3 times. So like I'm like close, and then plus I got 500 extra shards. I just got so much water crystal resources. So let me equip these really quick, and I can do a quick show you what they look like when you have them. This one, okay, cool. I can show you the Evo. These things do no damage. I'm fairly certain that they're helpful for. Actually, let me get out of here. So I think they will be very good for normal mode and hard mode early in the game, but they are utter crap late in the game. So you can see the water one's the blue one, and the fire one is the red one. So you're just puking fire and water in a straight direction. The way they work, and this is like Dagger of Dusk and Dagger of Dawn, is that you need to get them both up to 5 stars, and then they merge together. Or sorry, 5 levels, and then they merge together. So like mid-run, I have to get both of these up to level 5, and then they merge, and you get another weapon slot. So that's why I think it's good early in the game for pushing normal mode and hard mode. You'll be able to get an extra weapon slot and get like the bonus of like having what is essentially another Dragon's Breath. And Dragon's Breath is very strong early in the game because it's not cooldown reliant. So here's the Steam Crystal, right? So like it's awful. There's no visual difference. There's like nothing. It's just a leprechaun puking water in a straight direction, right? And it looks like there's no penetration. So like when they hit a horde, they get consumed. It's just a bad, stupidly designed weapon. But it's probably good for normal mode and hard mode, right? Because now you can see with my weapon sets, right? here, right, I get an extra slot. So I'm able to get like essentially 5 weapons or 6 weapons, 5 additional weapons. So it's got that. It'll probably give you like in theory a higher cap than not having it, but whatever. I mean, like I'm just puking in a single direction. Like whee. So you look at stats. Oh, it's actually doing more than other things. That's different. I guess it's the only weapon I have. But I like if you do this full run, it's going to end up like off the screen, even with like taking random weapons. So I am thoroughly unimpressed with it, but I imagine it could be helpful early in the game. Maybe it's helpful in Dragon's Tower if you can evolve it for the slow. Like that is the one nice thing is I did get access to the slow from the water, so like maybe that'll be helpful. But I don't even like want to risk taking it in these high levels of Dragon's Tower. So that's the water crystal, fire crystal, steam crystal combo. It's just puking elements in a single direction. How do people play with visibility mode off? It's like, how do you see anything? Yeah, 5-star scrap hammer is just giantly important late in the game. You really don't need it before. Yeah, I mean, ride this, guys. You're not missing anything. I could have gotten fire crystal for free. I ended up spending 900 gems on it, but I could have gotten it for free. So I just took it. I don't. So I have a calculator, Talla, on the website. It takes a little bit of customization, but it'll show you like the expected odds for things. I imagine your numbers are hopefully exactly the same. There's no real point in showing it, but if you do, let's see, like tool. It's called, what do I have it? I have it called as the Wheel of Fortune calculator, but it'll tell you the odds of getting things, and you can change the probabilities of getting things. So let's see, the hero is 0.008 now, 56. So you have a 36% chance. So if you do 100 spins, you have a 55% chance of getting a hero. I said 50 to 60, I think, originally. So I'm pretty happy with my mental model of how odds work. But yeah, 100 spins would get you, in theory, about, let's see, I don't know if the tokens are right. Okay, these tokens aren't right. So 100 spins might get you like almost 2,000 tokens. Let me check real quick. Tal, do you have it in Discord already, you said? Okay, let me give this a shot. Data, dashboard. Expected. All right, so it's 108 coins per spin. I guess that makes sense. If you do 100 spins, you have a 55% chance of hitting a hero, and you'll get enough for a second. So you have a 5% chance of getting a hero from the 7 base spins. Cool. This is nifty. But yeah, $100. Spending $100 in this one, if you have $100 to burn, you probably get 3. You know, probably. I guess technically 55 is more than 50, so you'll probably get 3 heroes. Which is not bad. $33 a hero. It's not bad. That's the thing too. Like I went from making $300 a month to making significantly more than that. I mean, I'm a chief of staff in Tulsa. If you Google chief of staff in Tulsa, I'm like, it's like 150K. So that's what I'm making now. I went from $300 a month to 150K a year. And $100 means a lot, used to mean is significantly cheaper than it used to be. Put it that way. Went from being a third of my income to not a third of my income. So that's like a point of reference for Heroes versus Swords. But alrighty, let's see. All right, cool. What did you do? I didn't ignore you, Tal. I just told everybody about the calculator, and I looked at it. I actively looked at it. I wasn't sharing the screen, but I was looking at it. I was in the background. 400. Yeah, I mean, $20 for pumpkin shade wouldn't be bad. I'd spend that, especially if you're early in the game. So I did 10. I don't know. So here's the thing. Like this week, I have 17,000 gems, right? Burning a hole in my pocket right now. I need Dark Paladin. That's basically the only hero I need. If this week is Dark Paladin in Lucky Draw, which I don't think it will be because he was the hero a couple months ago, I would grab him instantaneously. My bet is going to be like Warlock or Rosemother. No, Warlock. I'm hoping for Warlock. I think if it's Warlock, I think I buy it. I'm not totally sure, but maybe. Because Warlock, I have 8,500 hero forge tokens just like hanging out that are unused. So that sounds like really good in my brain. All right, I have 8,790 forge tokens here just doing nothing, and I have 300 hero shards. The problem is I don't have one of the better faction war passes, so like I'll never be able to get Warlock leveled up all that high. So I probably don't want her for that reason. Ugh. Which means that like I kind of want like a nature faction hero, but I'm like Rosemother is very strong, but like I'm realistically never gonna use her for anything. So I don't know what to do with my gems at this point. Like I'm in like a weird place here where I have 17,000 gems, and like the only thing I need in my head is Dark Paladin. So then it's like, all right, Dark Mage is going to be in the Dice Dash event in a couple days. Like, do I spend 10,000 gems on Dark Mage? Like, I'm never going to use Dark Mage. Again, I don't have the Shadow Faction pass. So, like, I'm getting Dark Mage then for times 105 global. Like, that's good. That's like half a Dark Paladin. So I think that's probably what I'll do is go for Dark Mage. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot where like I really just want one thing. So, and then I just got to grind. So I am on the Druid and Sentry Specialist grind. The nice thing is Sentry Specialist is 73 away from 5-star. So like that's going to be one boss brawl rotation plus one Mechanist League faction wars, and I'm done. And I think I've maxed out all the Mechanist League. I got everyone in the Mechanist League. Look at that. And I got everyone here. Now I got Minotaur. Boop, boop. So next up, I'm going to get Artificer to 5 stars, I think. Sounds like fun. I don't know if it's actually worth it, but it sounds cool. And then, yeah, Nature Faction is Druid. So Druid's going to take me like 120, 160 days to max out. He's got a ways to go. But that's I'm basically playing this game now for Boss Brawl. I have two more Dragon Tower floors, Boss Brawl, and Druid. So let's see here. Morning, Paradox. Thanks for showing up, buddy. Oh yeah, sorry, Garco. Dark Paladin's got a massive forge, and all I care about is Boss Brawl. And the only way to increase your Boss Brawl damage is through forge multiples, really, at this point for me. So, where's this guy? Boop. Dark Paladin. If you get Dark Paladin early in the game, he's super strong. Dark Paladin's a beast, but I instantly get 1.1 times more damage with this. So, but he hasn't been around, and I could have got him for $20 in that event that was like back in April, but I just didn't have any money, so I couldn't get him. But yeah, better to have a job than not have a job. Priestess is a beast. Yeah, Priestess is massive amounts of damage. She's, I think, the highest, probably the best hero in the Mage faction. Although, you know who else is really strong is Gravescraper. No one really got him maxed out because he's kind of just like a random adventure hero. But max, this guy's going to do a whole butt ton of damage for you. His ultimate's fantastic. And he's where are the Spitty Plants? This one. Spitting Plants, massive increase in his damage. So that's also what I learned. So I've been really focusing on Dragon's Tower. And so Shield Warden has become my boy. I think Shield Warden's the best Dragon Tower hero. 100%. Way better than Astral Mage. Don't listen to hacks. 1 point in Shield Warden gets you Quick Slam, which reduces Ground Slam cooldown by 1%. Ground Slam's cooldown is 4 seconds. Did it used to be lower than this? Whatever. I could have sworn this said 3 seconds. What? Okay, whatever. Anyway, it goes from 4 seconds down to 3. So that is a 25% cooldown reduction for his most important skill. And I actually thought this said 3 seconds before. They didn't change this on me, did they? They didn't just silent nerf Shield Warden. God damn it. Does anyone have any screenshots of Shield Warden's Forge? Did they just silent nerf this dude? Where would I have... I just did a video on this, right? So I have footage. Everything... Alright, there's my... Looking at myself. No, it's 4 seconds. No silent nerf. Just me, like, actually staring at this thing for the last 3 weeks and just not knowing the number. I'm such an idiot. That 1 star in his Forge is actually pretty big. It reduces the cooldown on his skill with the stun from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. So in the video, I say 5 to 4. In the footnote correcting my voiceover, I put 3 to 2. And it's actually 4. I'm so stupid sometimes. God almighty. Right, so every 4 seconds the Shield Warden slams. I verbally said 5. In the note, I put 3. And the real number just on the screen at the same time is 4. Such an idiot. Just like... What am I doing? But anyway, the first getting 1 star Forge and Shield Warden is important. That's the takeaway. But that's so stupid. Alrighty. Yeah, DP is better, but that's the thing now with the update to Guild. So Paradox is saying that Dark Mage is the strongest Guild event hero. She is, or he, whatever it is. But guild events like don't matter nearly as much anymore because the guilds are getting so much bigger. So like at this point, Cake or Death actually hits the cap a day before the guild event ends. And as we get more people in the guild, like we're gonna hit that like super like way even before that. So like the guild event used to be a big marker of like power like about a year and a half ago, and it's just not as important anymore. But Dark Mage does break the cap, and she can get over 30,000 points. Yeah, she breaks the cap, Tony. So she's the only hero that can break that cap without cheating. And it's because of, I think, how the AoE works from one of her skills or something. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful, my ramblings. I was also watching a podcast the other day, and they were talking about the parasocial nature of podcasting, where like, you know, like you listen in to them talking about themselves and you think you know them. But like the nice thing about live streaming is that like you actually do know me, and it's like actually social. Like this is like I have a job, but I still do this for fun now just because it's so much fun to do. So I appreciate everybody showing up. This is not parasocial, it's real social. That's my take on it. And I thoroughly enjoy it. So thank you everyone for showing up. Means a lot to me. It's been a lot of fun this last year. I hit the 1 year anniversary on the channel last week, like in the middle of the week. So that was pretty cool. I still remember getting my first subscriber was like Cosmin. I got 8 subscribers in that first video. I was like, I'm hooked. I'm down. This is so much fun. So thanks everybody for showing up. It means the world. The executive producers. So my first executive producer ever was Cake Invictus. Thank you, buddy. And I actually have my very first like Patreon too is still around. He doesn't play the game anymore, but he's still He still is a patron. Oh, who is it? Because I remember being on vacation and getting that and being like, oh my God, I got my first ever patron. So I was like, all I need to get is like thousands and thousands more, and then I can do this full time. And I didn't get thousands and thousands more, but we got Cake Invictus, Riverwind, TheWuba, Krabs, Charlos, Lady Ikaika, Jason, TallaNasty, Arc, Paradox, Cemar, Bunni, Orchardist, Excentricat, Roz, Sumamormy, VKNinja, Clinton. That's like 14 people. That's awesome. It's crazy. It's crazy. I really appreciate all of you guys and everyone that shows up to these chats. It makes it super fun for me. So thanks a lot, guys, for showing up. You can check out. I am making videos on consumer affairs. That's a new job. So those are gonna start going live in a week or two. If you just want to see me talk about auto warranties, it's pretty exciting stuff. Although I do like the tagline that we figured out for that one is going to be we make big purchases, no big deal. So that's the tagline for there. But the tagline here is always do your adventures. All right, guys. Happy Sunday. Go watch some football playoffs. I'll see you next week. Have a good one.